Dun, 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 dun. Hello, Bond fans, and welcome to this audio fan commentary of The Living Daylights, starring Timothy Dalton in his debut Bond movie, directed by John Glen, released in 1987. This is actually the film that marks the 25th anniversary of the Bond film franchise. This is a particular favourite of mine and Jack. I'm here with Jack McCullough. And we're going to hi. We're going to commentate on this. Like with the other commentaries, this is a non-profit video. We're just simply.
It's also the 30th anniversary of this film as well.
Oh yeah, it is actually. And it's this is a non-profit commentary. We're not doing this for money. We're just fans simply watching and commentating. If you want to join us, then watch your DVD, put your timestamp to 0, play when we play, and then follow along. So yeah. Is there anything you want to say, Jack, before we start?
Just that, mute your soundtrack and we'll put it to 00. Let's begin. Ready when you are.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, play.
MGM logo.
Oh, good old line. They changed it for Skyfall. It kind of zoomed in, or zoomed out, actually.
I kind of miss the old logo.
United Artists. I missed that one as well.
I love this gun barrel, the new gun barrel.
Da-dun, da-dun. Ooh.
Dalton's pose.
This was the first new gun barrel since The Spy Who Loved Me, I think.
Yeah, that was 10 years ago as well.
Oh yeah, in 10 years, because Roger Moore had they didn't change his one after The Spy Who Loved Me. They just kept it until A View to a Kill.
They slightly altered them, like changed the colors and stuff in the music. But
yeah, I really like this opening sequence. It's actually one of my favorite openings to a Bond movie.
I mean, I love the way they reveal him as Bond.
Yeah. Oh, fucking Robert Brown as M.
Yeah, unfortunately, they kept him on from A View to a Kill and not.
Yeah, but they changed Moneypenny for obvious reasons. But
I think Robert Brown as M is just a Bernard Lee stand-in.
yeah, he's all right. Also, I think the way they write him isn't great. They write him out to be this dick when he's M. Shouldn't M? You know, he can be a dick when the occasion warrants it, but. Like in Octopussy, when Bond bids for the egg, he's like, "Oh, you have no business bidding for that egg. We're not a country club, 007." It's like, oh, for God's sake. And in License to Kill, he gives, too many people.
I love the stunt here, and I love the music by John Barry. His score here is great.
And this is his final score for the series. We need more Bond soundtracks like this for future movies.
I think they're in Gibraltar.
Looks like a nice place.
This guy here looks a bit like Roger Moore.
Just a little bit. Paintball. You're out of it. Somewhere up north. This is why the Brosnan era after this was so lackluster for me, because they got lost in the CGI effects when they could just, like, when Bond relies on practical effects, which is why I really appreciate the Craig films much more, and why this film was probably.
What bit are you on?
Smith's Fiona bit.
Yeah, that bit's really tense.
No! And one of them betrays him.
I think you can tell from the tone of this movie straight away it's going to be a lot more serious. And then that reveal of Timothy Dalton is James Bond is great.
Mm.
I think he's one of the most underrated Bonds, and I think probably
Yeah, his accent might be quite posh, but he's tough all the same. I think this was the first real, let's say real one from the start of.
I think Timothy Dalton, without him, you wouldn't have had Daniel Craig. I think he's the template for Craig. I mean, he's the first Bond really to go back to the books, and I think Living Daylights, this film did well when it came out, but after License to Kill, the tone was just too dark, and I think people weren't used to that because they had to watch Amer films for 12 years, and that's why I think Timothy Dalton's films, for a lot of people, thought they were a failure.
Yeah, this is such a brilliant opening. Where Dalton does his own stunts as well.
Timothy Dalton did stunt, yeah. I think Dalton was so committed to the role.
I think that's what a lot of people forget. They just criticize him when they don't realize that he was always reading the books, going back to them and trying to get a flavor of Ian Fleming's character. I mean, he's probably the one that learned from the book in terms of like the dark, strange figure, if that makes sense. So each actor brings their own, their self to the role. So
I think he's the most accurate to the books, as well as Craig. I think they're both joint the most accurate. With Dalton, yeah, he probably has more of the look.
yeah,
I mean, the thing with Timothy Dalton, because he's not like really built, you'd think he wouldn't do many of the stunts himself, but he does. And this stunt scene here is epic.
I mean, he's not the type of actor you'd expect to play Bond because he's like theatre, sort of Shakespearean actor. He's quite posh, but he actually surprisingly does a really good job. He's really grown on me since I've watched his movies.
The first film I saw was License to Kill with him, and I wasn't impressed by that film. But I remember watching this a few years ago on Sky Movies with my grandmother. It was on TV during Christmas, and we both watched it, and like we both loved it. I mean, it was just so engaging. And this opening scene here is just so great. Like the stunt, it's so well done. Everything. He just pulls the parachute.
So it's really impressive.
What bit are you on?
Just when he's left the car,
Yeah.
when the vehicle truck blows up.
Yeah. The delivery of the line here is good as well. He doesn't like overemphasize it. It's just like, oh yeah, Bond, James Bond. He's a bit flippant about it. Like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and he happens to land on a boat with a beautiful woman.
Though it's just like Bond, James Bond. It's kind of a bit flippant, like Daniel Craig.
We're back. Bond, James Bond.
Like that too. I think Morris Binder, by this point, was sort of running out of ideas for Bond title sequences.
Would you say that woman on the boat is the only girl?
Is what?
Like that woman on the boat, she's the only other Bond girl in this film.
I wouldn't really class her as a Bond girl, but I guess you could say that, yeah.
Yeah, the title sequence isn't great. It is a bit disappointing, but like it's okay.
It's not bad. It's not as, I think License to Kill was probably one of his weakest. I mean, the song by Aha is alright. I'm not a huge fan of Aha, so
I actually really like it. I mean, it's not the most Bondian song, but I kind of like it. It's very 80s, just groovy, but it could sound more Bondy. But I like it. It's good. What's to say? See the darkness, let it never fade away.
I almost imagine him saying, "Take
Living
on me."
There's some nice imagery in the title sequence, but it's not like it doesn't relate to the film very much.
Yeah.
Like it's and that bit with the spy, they kind of copied the Spy Who Loved Me with the turning round and shooting.
Yeah, I think Morris Binder by the 80s just sort of ran out of ideas because he's been doing them for so long.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to knock him. I mean, his title sequences, you know, they're so iconic. Without them, you wouldn't have any of the Daniel Kleinman ones.
Yeah. Like this one with a woman in the water. I don't really get it. And lights fade away. Peter Lamont's production design as well is also very impressive in the film. There's so many great locations in The Living Daylights.
I think this film just is really overlooked. I mean, the one thing I don't get about the title sequence is this girl in the champagne glass. Like, who is she? Like, what does she have to do the film? Like, this girl in the champagne glass, like, I don't get that.
Yeah, it's a bit random. Oh, she's tasty.
Yeah.
She looks a bit like Tanya Roberts.
Yeah.
James! James! Help me, James!
God. That's a commentary for another day.
Oh, we've done that actually already.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, sorry.
I mean, as much as I like View to a Kill, I do think that this is way better. I think it is a major step up.
I wouldn't say way better, but I think View to Kill is a good film. But I do prefer this.
This when we introduced Saunders as well.
First, you're like, guy's a dickhead.
Yeah, actually, I think out of all the allies, he's probably like the second best. Out of the John Glen allies that get killed off, he's probably the second best. I think the best is probably Tibbet from View to a Kill.
The only thing I... Go ahead, sorry.
I would say Saunders is pretty good too.
The only thing I would say View to a Kill has over this film is the villains. The villains here are just crap. No offense. I mean, Joe Crab is Yorkie Koskov. He's way too jovial to be a Bond villain.
Yeah. Forget the ladies for once, Bond. Yeah. Brad Whitaker is just basically a generic arms dealer. Like it's just silly. Like he's playing with his toy soldiers at the end. But we'll get to him later. But yeah, the only good villain is Necros.
Comparing them to Jack Wade. God.
Jack Wade.
I love the scene where like you like turn off the lights. Then it's like okay, Bond is gritty. Bond's going back to its roots. I think John Glen should have probably left after this film. 4 films. I think this was like the right time to leave.
Yeah, I agree.
Miriam Dabo here is Cara. I think she's the most beautiful Bond girl for me. Not the sexiest, but the most beautiful. Like,
she is stunningly beautiful. I think Kara's just innocent. I think that's what's great about her. She's just an innocent girl. Like she doesn't want to be caught up in all this. She's almost a bystander who's involved when she's been framed. So it's I think Dalbo gives a good performance, and her accent is very good. You there, Jack?
Yeah. I'm here.
Oh, sorry. I thought you'd gone. Your mic was muted. So.
I think you can tell straight away from this film it's going to be a much more darker, edgier Bond film. I think people weren't used to that after Roger Moore for over a decade. And that's why when License to Kill came out, because it was way too dark, they decided not to embrace Dalton as Bond.
Yeah, they just dismissed it because it was something that they thought it went too far. I think The Living Daylights did well, but it was just kind of forgotten about. And then License to Kill was like, because people didn't really appreciate Dalton as Bond until like years, like a couple of decades after, really. I don't think it was till the Craig era that the people appreciated Timothy Dalton. This is a very interesting scene. Koskov.
Yeah. I think John Glen's on point here with his direction.
It just feels to me like thriller, like espionage spy thriller.
Yeah.
But it has a heart, you know, the relationship between Bond and Kara. I don't know if I wouldn't say that he falls in love with her, but there's definitely a lot of affection there. Like he kind of
the reason why they don't have sex was because of the whole AIDS scare back then.
Yeah, so they had to cut down on all of that in the films. Probably why they only had the one Bond girl at the beginning.
I don't like that though, that Timothy Dalton's Bond doesn't have so much sex, because it doesn't really seem like a Bond who would, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That sounds weird, but I don't see his Bond like going around having sex with loads of girls.
It wouldn't suit him.
Yeah.
With Roger Moore, it does. Dalton does the actually the one thing that Dalton does lack is the charm. He does the cold killer stuff really well, but when he tries to be charming, he does come across as a little bit awkward and forced. Like when they're about to buy the dress later on, he's all, "Let's buy it. Yorkie will pay for it." You know, he's very stern. And when he says, "Don't think, just let it happen," like he does get a bit too intense at points.
I like that bit where he says to Saunders, "Sorry, chap, section 3, paragraph 5. Sure you understand."
Oh, James.
What bit are you on?
Just when they're about to drive off with Koskov.
Yeah, we're already like 15 minutes in.
Need to know. Sure you understand. Just Luke Saunders there with the gun.
Yeah.
The problem with Koskov is he's basically just a clown. Like, nobody's going to be intimidated by this guy. "Oh, James," mwah, mwah. And then he's like, I told you. Ugh, I don't know. I just never bought him as a villain.
He's like Lazenby's brother.
At least Lazenby tried to be tough in the action scenes when the occasion warranted it, but how will I get out? I think his performance is just too over the top. Like I said in the reflection of Timothy Dalton, it's the last little bit of camp that they've got left from the Roger Moore era, trying to get rid of. But yeah, I mean, both the villains are crap. Like Brad Whitaker, he's terrible as well.
We're only 16 minutes in though.
Yeah. Yeah, this woman here is really somebody. Wonder how she knows Bond.
Maybe I had a sling for her.
You must hurry. Come in the pig. What is pig? Scouting truck. Clean out the pipeline. This one is special.
Carry man.
Get him into Pig's blanket.
Our pipeline? Wait till it's but not me. What are you?
I like this bit. He's like, it's never been tested before. He's like, ah!
If open bow before 100, you will be got. Cake, horse, cake. There must be another way.
Get in there.
He's just comical as a villain.
And reason on. Relax, Yogi. Our engineers have spent months perfecting this. How many times have you done this before? You're the first.
Like the thing is, it's not like he tries to be funny, but inject some humor, but it's just not funny.
When he says 100, turn this. Look.
I don't think this film's strength is in the comedy, but you know, the light relief are appreciated with the Bond and Cara relationship.
I think John Glen in this film sometimes tries too much to put humor into it.
This is such a random scene.
Well, she's trying to seduce him.
Yeah. Oh my god. He probably but that shake was the
giving him the thumbs up. Saunders. Do you know French, by the way?
petite cabbage. Also, does he know?
His feet in there going, whoa!
Whoa! It's like a merry-go-round. Whoa!
Whoa! Are we at the fun park?
He ends up in Cuba.
Welcome to Austria.
Uh-huh.
I mean, one thing they did keep, which was good, was Desmond Llewellyn as Q. I think he's been in the most Bond films out of all of them.
In the very beginning.
Oh, he wasn't in Dr. No, he was in
From Russia with Love.
Yeah. It's like 17 Bond films, which is impressive.
Yeah, it's a shame his last one was The World Is Not Enough, but oh well. He had a good run.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he died in a car crash.
Well, I mean, he gets much more to do in the next movie, which is great, but he's pretty good in this one too.
I think John Barry's score here, his last score, is just brilliant.
He just, I don't know why, Barry, he just pulls out all the stops with the music.
I think his best scores are probably View to the Kill and then this.
Yeah. I think his weakest score might, for me, be Diamonds Are Forever. I think, out of the ones I can think of, probably Diamonds Are Forever.
Or maybe say Octopussy.
I like his score for Octopussy. It's quite sweet, but I can understand why you say that. But it has the great theme of...
I have no intention of giving to that 007.
007.
He didn't score for Your Eyes Only, did he?
No, it's Bill Conti.
Nah. Stuff my orders.
Get the turkey out and stuff it. I just love it. I just love the way he's like, stuff my orders. Like he doesn't give a shit.
Whether she was scared of living daylights out.
Roll credit.
You know, it'd be interesting. They could have started a title sequence there once he said that, but
it would have made the opening too long.
Yeah.
Scared of living daylights out of it.
We've got a. Oh, I forget her name. She's that boring.
Caroline Bliss.
Yeah, she's not very good as Moneypenny.
For me, she's weakest Moneypenny. She just doesn't do anything in the two films she's in.
Yeah.
I know you say Samantha Bond is probably worse. I say they're both not great, to be honest. Samantha Bond, at least, you know, had more scenes with Brosnan. But, you know, like Samantha Bond was just trying to copy Lois Maxwell. Caroline Bliss is just, she's just boring. They're both pretty boring, to be honest. Like, I actually think Naomi Harris is doing a really good job as Moneypenny and Skyfall Inspector.
I love that, but it's like something we're making for the Americans. It's called a ghetto blaster.
Ghetto blaster.
Em wanted to stop at Harrods on your
There's
way.
no chemistry with her and Dalton. Like, it's just awkward.
Money, good, yeah.
Anytime you want to drop by and listen to my Barry Manilow collection,
He just doesn't even bother.
Anytime you want to drop by.
he's trying to smile, but it looks really scary.
Not only that, it's just not attractive.
I don't know. I don't know. She was. I think she was a miscast, to be honest.
I've got Necros here.
The milkman. The only thing that is a little bit silly about this film is the exploding milk bottles. Like, I don't really get how he could fit grenades in there.
No, I think it's just petrol. I think Necros was the best villain in this film, even though he's a henchman.
And that says something. That really says something.
The milkman's listening, where has everybody gone?
It's a good song, actually. It's on the soundtrack for this film, on the album.
Well, the horses, it just reminds me of A View to a Kill.
It was the St. John Smythe. This location, because it doesn't feel like it would belong in a Bond movie like this, the old sort of manor house. I don't know, I really like it. And it is reminiscent of View to a Kill.
Hello, I'm Yorkie Flex.
Oh, God.
This bit, oh god.
He kisses him.
He's like,
Foie gras. Apparently Roger Moore hates foie gras.
yeah.
That's present food for us. But with champagne, it's okay. Bollinger are the best. The brand on the list was questionable, sir, so I took the liberty of choosing something else. Superb, Mr. Bond! Superb. May I suggest we resume the debriefing? Absolutely, go ahead. I won't hold.
It's not even funny.
It is, it's just forced. It's kind of cringy.
Where's the usual nothing? What's that? Where's the usual name? Hello.
I think they might have dubbed the guy who plays Necros there.
He's actually, I think he's like, he's Russian, I think, the actor, but he's originally a dancer. So he's actually rather good.
Imagine Sir Hilary Bray in this film with Yorkie.
You tried the foie gras. It's excellent.
Just a slight stiffness coming on.
Don't think. Just let it happen. All right. Would you agree with Calvin
I mean,
Dyson
this
when
was
he said-
the Cold War, 2 years before the Berlin Wall fell down. And this is like the last time Bond really fights the Russians. Well, unless you count GoldenEye.
Yeah, that's true. Would you agree with Calvin Dyson when he said that Bond and M and the Minister should stay for the action scene in here?
They were going to originally have Pushkin. I would have preferred if they had Google.
Would you agree that with Calvin Dyson when they said that Bond and M and the Minister should have stayed for the action scene?
In view of the importance of what is to
No, because I mean, how are they going to get involved in the action?
By all means, the game is crushed out today, sir.
John Rhys Davies actually plays Pushkin.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's really good.
You can imagine him just turning around to Timothy Dalton. Indy!
He's like, and my axe. John Rhys Davies also plays Gimli in The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Such a big guy as well. You wouldn't think he could play a dwarf, but he does it really well.
Those headphones he uses to kill people, they must be made out of steel or something like that.
Magley's back. Yeah.
I like this action scene in the kitchen. It's quite tense. Are you on the action scene in the kitchen? What bit are you on? What bit are you on? Where buddy go? Huh.
Oh, that's gotta hurt. Oh.
We have dangerous gas in the main building. Some personnel have come. Evacuate immediately. Send for emergency medical services.
The music's great. Anyone want some milk?
Kitty, want a bit of milk?
The main building.
Hey mate, you forgot your milk.
Have you seen the milkman? The milkman.
Imagine the postman like thinks on Pat and he's like throwing explosive letters. Don't kill me!
Please.
Oh!
Oh. Roscoe's ridiculous as a villain. He's just so bad.
Who's that for?
You! Help him or I kill you.
It's kind of obvious he's going to be the bad guy because he's just so likable.
Obviously, we know it's all an act. You know, so how Max the parrot doesn't get affected by any of this. He's just there.
What scene are you on?
Just when Koskov is taken,
Same, yeah.
strapping him into the thingy, and
Oh no!
wah 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 wah.
What? Oh!
Oh, it's not
Just
bad.
going for a piss.
Pushkin should be in 10 years and 2 days' time. Termination warrant has been issued for you. This plot to kill agent sounds rather far-fetched, sir. I know you. I've dealt with most everything.
Robert Brown just annoys me. He's just so stern all the time. He just completely belittles Bond all the time. I don't know. I just don't like that whatsoever. Hello, one viewer, by the way. I have a feeling I might know who it is. Spionum.
Yes, I've read Sorkin's report. You jeopardize the entire mission to avoid He follows orders, not instincts. You can take a photo. No. It has to be done.
scene in Q Branch. It's just brilliant. Bond gets his gadgets this time. I think this is probably one of the best Q Branch scenes in the series. Not a lot of people say that, but I think it is. I think it's just with the
Yorgi Koskov.
Would you agree with me that this is one of the best Q Branch scenes?
All right, yeah.
What do I do to close the room? Got to save the Queen.
I mean, Ben Wishaw's good, but I don't think he'll ever replace Desmond Llewellyn.
Yeah. What's great about Ben Whishaw is that he works with the current time. He works with current times. Desmond is great at starting out because now you can see a young guy with his computer doing all of this. Shows how much technology has moved on. But back then, you know, this was perfect.
Yeah, I mean, Desmond Llewellyn is cute, even though I love him. He's a bit implausible. Like, how could an old man like this know all this new technology? But he works for the times. Oh, this Cara. Ooh.
I'm in the sofa.
We'll be back at the academy on Thursday afternoon. String quartet number 2 in D.
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Money finished, and we travel yeah. Breakfast slot.
Looks weird without her glasses.
To yourself.
Yeah.
That girl must be very talented.
Believe me, my interest in her is fully professional.
Oh.
Careful, 007. It's just had a new coat of paint.
I think Ian Fleming would have loved this film if he was still alive.
I mean, if he was ever in a position to see any of these films, I hope he'd feel happy with the way they turned.
But I think he was. He saw From Russia with Love and he was very happy with that.
Mm. And you know, we finally get to learn more about Cara now, Cara Malova, who's probably one of the best. Yeah, she's not the cleverest of Bond girls, but I don't think that's a problem. He takes pity on her for that, I guess. I don't know if what you could call their relationship a love story. I don't know. I believe there's
called it puppy love.
There's definitely a connection there. There's definitely they definitely care for each other, but I don't know if he loves her. I don't know if
I don't think he loves her. I think she loves him though.
I
think he cares about her.
Yeah.
I mean, Mariam Dabo. She's not
Pretty woman.
She's not the fittest Bond girl, but I think she's the most beautiful. I mean, every time I see her, I'm just like, I want to marry her. Well,
well, I'm not stopping you.
You've left your cello.
Cello. The music here is really good too. So much tension.
Well, there's John Rhys Davies' Pushkin. Can you imagine if like Dalton came on and said, "Wait, you forgot your cello," and he just gets shot?
Would you like to play the cello?
Oh, cello.
It's funny how they have those electric buses running the cables.
Oh, trams. Yeah, trams.
The trams.
Could you imagine him saying, "Cello, goodbye"?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, John Barrett, it's a shame this was his last score. He only died like a few years ago, 2011, I think.
So did he say when he was making this one that it was his last one, that he didn't want to do anymore?
Maybe. Probably. I think he did. I think the reason he didn't do any more after this because he was doing a score for a different film, Dances with Wolves, and then I think he just wanted to do other stuff.
Yeah. Because he doesn't want to be known as the guy for James Bond all the time, so...
Yeah. I love the scene where he's in a toilet with the cello and it turns out it's a sniper. Oh, you play a different brand of cello?
Are you sure you want to play this cello?
Oh, let me play you a little tune. Just shoots Pushkin.
Reach for the stars. I'm a mountain higher.
I think you're right about the charm. He can't really do the charming. That scene where he's like, oh, let's buy it. Like later, he's like, who will pay for it? Yogi, of course.
He definitely tries. I won't give him credit where it's due, but it is a little bit intense.
She actually does like a documentary on called Bond Girls Are Forever, which came out in the Casino Royale DVD.
Oh yeah, I've watched that. Yeah.
It's quite interesting.
Yeah. I think that was, they went up to Die Another Day with I love the scene when Bond and Cara meet.
Yeah.
Put the gun in the river.
I dropped the cello in the river.
I'm afraid you've been quite a mess.
The gun in the river.
I heard you played the conservatoire yesterday.
It was exquisite.
This is what brings me the charm, is the score in this.
Yeah.
It's so sweet. It's lovely.
I mean, it's kind of a shame because next to Tracy and Vesper, of course, I think maybe Cara. I don't know. Sounds stupid, but it would be nice if they got together after this film.
Why are you trying to?
Yeah, because Bond just kind of moves on.
He loves them and leaves them.
He marries him. He murders him. I think the production design is great with her flat.
I like Dalton's jacket.
How do you know that?
It's like Bond's jacket in the View to Kill, the bomber jacket.
So good.
Yeah, but it just shows that it's just them making a statement that he's just a much darker Bond than his predecessors.
Yeah. I mean, you could tell Cara's a bit gullible, like she loves Yorkie, but like kind of like that though. She's innocent, like compared to Dalton's Bond, like he's very smart. I think he sort of sees her as like an innocent bystander in all this.
Yeah, she's quite naive.
I think he's a bit fatherly, like a bit protective of her in some ways.
Yeah, but yeah, he does also try it on with her as well.
I mean, that guy actually there in the car, I think he was in the View to Kill as well.
Oh, right. I don't think I'm on that bit yet. But I think I'll know that bit when you...
What bit are you on?
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. Just the bit when Dalton's left the flat, the apartment, whatever you call it.
I love the fact they brought back the Aston Martin, like the first time since Sean Connery, because Roger Moore's car was basically the Lotus. This trick here, like she goes into the phone booth and then... No, yeah, but I think she does is she goes into the phone booth and then leaves, so it looks like she's still on the phone. Giving me a bit of head down there.
The back projection is starting to look a little dated by this point, but that's just going to happen. It's natural wear and tear.
I love that. I must get my cello. Then they go back. He's like, no way. I think Dalton as Bond, he really does look like a killer, like his eyes. You know what I mean? He's just got that face. Like when he looks angry, he looks like he could kill you.
Yeah, I love the line that he says, "Oh, why didn't you learn the fire?"
Why didn't you learn the violin?
Next time, bring a banjo.
Why didn't you learn the violin?
You've been trolled.
And we have a really great action sequence coming up.
Yeah, I love this.
The ice chase, as it's
I
called.
think the action here in this film is great.
This has been on 44 minutes.
Yeah. Anomaly, primeval.
It's funny, I always forget that this is the 25th anniversary of the Bond franchise.
Well, you don't make a big thing about it.
No, it doesn't feel like an anniversary film. There's not, as far as I'm aware, there's not many references.
This laser bit is. I think when he lasers their car, that's a reference to Goldfinger. I think John Glen here, in terms of action and direction, he just got it perfect, as well as the drama.
This is awesome.
Sayonara. Salt corrosion. I think some of his lines are quite. Good. Salt corrosion.
Oh yeah, I think his best one-liner is later on when you're full of it.
Yeah. I think John Glen, you know, in terms of action, if you do a kill in this film, it's just like great action. I think he's a great action director.
He raised the game. Well,
Even in Octopussy,
it's good, but I think it would get better in if you took kill.
yeah.
The License to Kill was too much action.
Yeah. I think it gets the perfect tone as well in this film. It's just a spy thriller. It's not too dark. It's not too jokey.
Yeah, to me, it's a nice departure from the Roger Moore era.
It's a nice departure. I mean, it's still got its humor, which is good.
Yeah, it has light relief, but it doesn't like force the comedy like only with Koskov. But at least it's not like License to Kill with the fucking ninjas.
I love this bit where he's driving in the hut on the frozen lake. It's just such an awesome action scene. You can get this and Die Another Day.
No, actually, the scene in Spectre kind of reminded me of this. Like when the barn blows up, you know, when the plane goes through the barn in Spectre, it reminded me of the Living Daylights.
Oh yeah. I like that when it cuts the hole in the ice.
Salt corrosion.
I definitely raised him up. Oh yeah, the traction. I think what's really good about this is it's just back to basics as well. I think John Glen and Dalton worked really hard in getting Bond back to basics. Like he said, he was reading the books, trying to get it more back to a realistic sort of.
Yeah, just going to more darker roots of Bond's character. Well, not the roots, but just making Bond darker. They only go back to the roots with Daniel Craig, really.
Yeah.
Brace yourself.
I mean, that for me is why I don't like the Brosnan era. and that's why I don't like GoldenEye, because with the Dalton films, even though License to Kill wasn't very good, at least it was trying something different. At least it was trying to make Bond. At least it was trying to have a different take on Bond. GoldenEye was like, let's go back.
GoldenEye was a good film, but it was very weird. It was just a strange film.
I mean, I don't hate it as much as I used to. I think it's an average film, but I think you can definitely tell it was more. It was like, okay, let's go back to the more fun, romp kind of James Bond film.
Well, the good thing is at least it's the best of the Brosnan era.
I love this bit where they're going down in the cello, like using it as a slug.
We've nothing to declare.
I'm glad I insisted that you brought that cello. I would love to play this in a game like 007 Legends. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that would have been actually, instead of the License to Kill levels.
Yeah.
I mean, thinking about it, like, it was worthy to note, actually, that Pierce Brosnan auditioned to be Bond for this movie, but he had to, like, he rejected because of Remington Steele, so we could have got Brosnan a lot earlier than GoldenEye.
Yeah, he had a contract for Remington Steele. I'm glad he didn't get the role at this point, because I think he would have been too young as well, I think.
Yeah. Funny, Dalton was offered the role in On Her Majesty's Secret Service, but he turned it down because he was too young. He said he was too young, so yeah.
I mean, Dalton knew the right time. He was 29, I think, when he was offered the role, so he knew he was too young. I mean, Bond, the ideal age for Bond in the books is late 30s to early 40s, which something that Craig is at the moment. Well, he's in his 50s now, but
Tangier.
I think I've actually been there when I was like 2.
Was it good?
Indie.
I suppose you don't really remember much about Tangier.
No.
I mean, it's interesting how we'd revisit this location in Spectre with Daniel Craig.
Brad Whitaker.
Yeah,
Brad Whitaker.
Halfway through the film, we're introduced to Brad Whitaker, who's shit. But
why does he have all these different versions of himself as leaders?
General Pushkin. It's a pleasure. I'm Brad Whitaker.
he loves himself.
I prefer Joe Don Baker's Brad Whitaker, though, to Yorkie. I mean, at least you can take Brad Whitaker seriously.
Yeah, but he doesn't do much for me.
I like Joe Don Baker, but I agree he's not great. It's just kind of like, hey, I'm your generic American arms dealer.
Yorkie Koskov.
Yorkie
I
Koskov.
just wonder why the hell he's actually teamed up with Koskov.
My hobbies are sitting on my ass.
Afghanistan, the Northwest Frontier, 1895.
I really like this scene between Brad Whitaker and Pushkin, because he knows he's a bastard.
I mean, he does have like Brad Whitaker does have a bit of a Napoleon complex. He's obsessed with war.
I want my opium.
Range 5 kilometers. Just fire and forget.
I prefer him as a villain than Jack Wade. I mean, Jack Wade is so pointless.
Yeah, he's basically a Sheriff Pepper ripoff.
Yeah. I think Joe Don Baker gives a good performance. It's just the character that's just a bit shit.
This is the latest US and European stuff.
Like, this is
It's like Jonathan Price. He's a good actor. It's just the villain is written really badly.
Yeah, I mean, we're nearly halfway through this film. He's only just been introduced, and he doesn't do anything in this film. He's just there, and then Bond just takes him out at the very end. It's like, oh, what was the point of him? Like, I would have just had one villain rather than 2.
He's just an armchair general.
Armchair general.
Now you seem to forget
your many so-called wars of liberation that I have supplied to General Collins.
I have supplied the arms. Let's fucking take out James Bond for America.
Pushkin, he's just not buying Brad Whitaker's act. He's just like, no, I know you're up to something, you know. Yeah.
Is he still alive, John Rhys Davies? Well, isn't he in The Hobbit, John Rhys Davies?
He did come to visit the set. No, it's funny. One of the dwarves in The Hobbit is actually Gimli's father. So they tried to do
Lord of the Rings, yeah, of course, yeah.
The visual effect, like the special effects makeup to make him look like Gimli. You understand when you watch The Hobbit. He's called Gloin. And Gloin's the dwarf in The Hobbit that looks like Gimli.
I love this stuff with Bond and Cara in Vienna.
Yeah, this is really nice. It's just a nice departure from the main story. It's just them just to focus on some character development.
You could see Cara sort of fall in love with Bond in these nice locations.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's right.
Yeah, unless you have to move on.
I am Rassilon, last of the Time Lords. One thing I will say about Timothy Dalton, he is I think he is he's got the he does have a toughness to Bond like Craig has.
I just think charm a lot better. Like,
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
you can see Craig's like the killer. See, there is a charm about him, like the one-liners.
Yeah.
But Dalton, as much as it doesn't work,
I think it's a shame they only did 2 Bond films. I mean, we had 4 with Brosnan, and even after 2 Bond films of him, you're feeling like, okay, this is getting tired with Brosnan.
I mean, it's a shame about the charm. Like, Dalton couldn't do the charm, but I mean, it wasn't. Not that he needed it for License to Kill, but because that movie was too dark anyway. So, oh god.
Hello, I'm Simon Skinner.
I love Hot Fuzz.
Can I have a bit of your hot fuzz, Cara?
Is that a problem? Tickets for the opera. It's like MI6 pays for everything.
Yeah.
I just. Oh yeah, this scene is a little bit intense.
Yorgie, of course. I can imagine Dalton said to Cara, I like a bit of your hot fuzz, Cara. Yorgie Koskov is he's just such a lame villain.
And this is the first time we actually see all the villains together, and it doesn't really do anything for. Like when he's fumbling around.
If they had somebody as good as Max Zorn in this film, I guarantee you it would be much higher on my list. It's still very high. It's in my top 10, but it would be even higher if they had better villains.
The villains definitely let it down quite a lot.
I think Necros though he's at least good.
Yeah. With the report. Yeah, he's the best of the 3 in this film. Eating a lobster.
Yeah.
Right, Whitaker?
Get your ass over here. Oh god, Necros, put that package.
Your ass down.
Oh god, Necros, put some shorts on.
They will send the best man, James Bond.
We'll wear trunks and not Speedos.
Yeah.
Necros can do it. Work with the Russians. My appearance and methods are well known to them.
I think they might have dubbed him.
Jeopardize my comrades struggling for world revolution.
Yeah.
And they depend upon me.
Nice.
Actually, I think you're right. I think they did
Pushkin
I remember watching features for this.
Well, not yet. Your James Bond hasn't laid a finger.
James Bond, get that bastard over here. I'm gonna hit him with my lobster.
For instance, if another agent...
So Brad Whitaker's only in like another couple of scenes after this.
But if Pushkin is still alive on the last day of the conference, kill him.
Kill him. I don't like Mariam Davu's hair here. It just looks a bit 80s.
What, her hair?
Yeah, the way they've done up her hair in this scene just not very nice.
I think it looks fine, but fair enough. I can understand that. Yeah, maybe it doesn't. Maybe because she's meant to be Czechoslovakian, so.
Oh, there's Saunders.
I love the alternate ending.
Yeah. No. I mean, at first you think. Yeah. At first you think Saunders a dickhead, but then you come to realize it's actually a decent guy. It's kind of a shame though. John Glen has to kill every Bond assistant off.
It does get a little bit repetitive and annoying. I think it works for the Living Daylights, the View to a Kill.
Yeah.
But for the other ones, no. Like VJ didn't need to die. Neither did Luigi. Neither did Sharky.
This one really was called Sharky.
Like Sharky did nothing in the film anyway, so why even bother having him in there?
I like Sharky, but he was a bit pointless. Compliments from Sharky.
Compliments from Sharky. What do I tell Della?
Imagine Dalton, hello, baby.
Baby, oh.
Just wait for another tree.
Saunders. I quite like Saunders. I know he's only in like 3 scenes, but he's quite a good character. Yeah. This is all a bit of nice filler. Just stuff at the fun fair. Whoa! Jack. I like these scenes. You know, they're very sweet. And you really get to see Bond and Kara's relationship really develop. Like, he really does start to care for her. And I don't, like Jack said, I don't think what it is a love story. Not to the extent of Tracy or Vesper. But it's definitely, it's just a nice relationship. Like, he feels sorry for her and he wants to protect her. You know, because she's naive, she's vulnerable, and, you know, she's generally very sweet. So, yeah. This is when they start to Starts getting on. Yeah, it's a bit of a clunky line. Don't think, just let it happen.
Yeah, I do like this scene.
When they kiss.
Yeah. Ah. No. Yes. Ah. Ooh.
Kiss her would be something. But I mean, it must. I think the romance stuff, the charm, he doesn't handle it very well. But you know, he tries, but it's like, you know, it doesn't work for me anyway.
Can you imagine if they just fucked on that Ferris wheel? It's like, you finished yet?
Well, the wheel would shake and he'd probably fall off of it.
Ooh, ah!
Right in the heart, baby.
Sean, you cheated on me.
I mean, as much as I like Saunders, why'd they have to kill him off? Like, really? John Glen, like, this is the 4th time that this has happened. Like, it's really ridiculous now. And they're not even hiding the fact they're going to do it. It's like, oh, watch out for the door. But he's waiting to push the button. It's like they're showing you that Saunders will die.
I do like Saunders. I mean, when you first see him, you think he's a dickhead, but then you realise he's actually a decent guy.
And, you know, he starts to trust Bond a bit more.
Oh.
Brad Whitaker, the arms dealer.
Yeah. Oh, no. No. Oh, this is not a party. It is quite intense when he bursts the balloon. Imagine if he just said, "This is not a party. This is not a party. This is a family meal."
I think the problem with this death, as tense as it is, it lacks the suspense. It's not sudden. It needed to be sudden. We needed to just see Necros with the switch out of nowhere after Saunders died, not before. Because you lose any sense of suspense. Like, so you know that he's going to die, and it's not sudden enough. And that bit was weird. With the woman and her son.
Yeah.
Balloons.
I got the message.
Yes, I got the message.
Yeah, could you imagine him saying, "You're the ones who did it, you little shit, you little bastard. You killed him.
You killed Saunders."
McCall, we should have Saunders in a Bond life sketch.
Tangier.
I got the message.
No.
Brad
He's a
Whitaker.
veteran of the arts. You're here to be talking. How soon do we have to go?
The American
Immediately. I promised Joe Davis.
patron of the arts. What? I don't believe that for a second.
First thing in the morning.
What has Brad Whitaker ever done to constitute him being a patron of the arts?
I think it was a joke.
Yeah. She sounded pretty serious, but oh well.
Morocco, get out of my way.
Oh, this is a good scene. I like Dalton's costume here as well. Like the beige kind of blazer.
I'll push you off a cliff.
Bond. James Bond. Oh, coming up, we get probably my favourite scene with Timothy Dalton. It's when he interrogates Pushkin. It's so good, and it definitely proves Dalton is Bond. He is James Bond. I don't know if you'd agree, Jack. If you were here. And the music here is really good too by John Barry. And also, John Rhys Davies does a good job in this scene too. He kind of he eventually sees Bond's motive in this scene.
Is anything wrong?
Is anything wrong? Cloud Dalton steps from behind the door, making sudden moves, General.
Sit down. I take it that this was not a social call. So, correct. Both Lilies. May I ask why? Smeared spion. Smeared spionem was a barrier operation in Stalin's time. It was deactivated 20 years ago. Two of our agents are dead. My condolences. We had nothing to do with it. Where's Koskov?
Koskov.
2 weeks ago. I was about to have him arrested. Why? For misusing state funds. Involving Whitaker?
Brad Whitaker.
Security never killed me.
He lets his guards.
Damn stupid.
It was a damn stupid thing to do.
Get in the bathroom and lock the door. Stay where you are.
This is just such a really good moment.
You are professional. You do not kill without reason. 2 of our men are dead. Koskov's named you. Why should I disobey my orders? I am in the dark as much as you are. It is a question of trust. What do you believe? Koskov? Or me? If I trusted Koskov, we wouldn't be talking. She'll alive. We'll never hold these up to. Then I must die. Delegates, I bring you profound fraternal greetings from your comrades in Soviet.
I think this is a very, very effective scene. The staged death the fake death of Pushkin. I love the rooftop chase as well, when Dalton runs on the roof and is pursued by the guards. I mean, this is just classic Bond. And taking, like, I don't think you'd get a scene like the Pushkin fake death in a Roger Moore movie. I think this is very much John Glen defining a new era of Bond, but also kind of honouring what was before. I don't know where Jack has gone, but he's just muted himself for whatever reason. So at the moment, it's just me. And the music just goes all jazzy in this moment. And I think we come to what, in my opinion, is probably the worst, if not one of the worst, Felix Leiters of the entire series. This Felix is just terrible. He has no personality whatsoever. Like, they were going to bring David Hedison back. They could have brought him back for this movie as well as License to Kill, but I guess that was a decision they didn't come to until later on, before making License to Kill. Present for you.
Take it all.
We'll just sit back and enjoy the ride. It is kind of pointless them doing it like suspiciously. They could just say, Mr. Bond, you know, Felix Leiter wants to see you. Like, they could just say that rather than, you know, get him in the car and stuff. But oh well, I guess if they want to be really, really discreet and go completely undercover, they have the option to do that.
Start World War III. Felix Leiter.
It also prompts a bit of a continuity error, having a different Felix Leiter in the next one. But I guess none of these two films from Dalton aren't really meant to be connected in terms of the story at all. They don't follow the same narrative. Like, License to Kill isn't really a direct continuation after this movie. It's just another Bond movie. I mean, the only Bond movies that really connect with each other are really the Daniel Craig ones. So there's no point even complaining about having a different Felix Leiter in the next movie. I mean, I'm glad they got David Hedison back. I don't think I could stand that guy in License to Kill, but there we go.
I told you to believe me. I told you.
I agree with Jack. Koskov is way too happy and jovial. He just doesn't. He just comes across as a very campy villain in a very uncampy Bond film. It doesn't work for me whatsoever. I wish they would have changed that, but oh well. I don't know whether it was the script or whether it was just Jerome Krabe's performance, but whatever it is, there's just something that doesn't work about it. And here we come to a very good scene where Bond and Kara finally have a heart-to-heart, so to speak. He finally opens up to her and tells her the truth about his misgivings. And I think this is an interesting, because even though Bond is a cold killer, he does have a sensitive side. He does care when the occasion warrants it. Like, when he gets attached to somebody, he does care. And I think that's the point that they're trying to make, is that he's not completely, even though he tries to be, he's not completely emotionless and cold all the time, even though that is generally the intention Fleming gives across in the books. But he feels like he shouldn't keep her from the truth anymore.
Liar. You pretended to love me. I telephoned Gil, he was there.
You're a liar. It all gets a bit heated.
Using me to find him and kill him.
Sean!
Oh, you're back. Oh, hello.
Hey.
I'm on the scene where Bond and Kara, well, when Kara basically spikes his drink.
Oh yeah, that bit, yeah.
You missed the great scene with Bond interrogating Pushkin.
Yeah.
Why didn't you?
Sorry, I had to go get some lunch, so that's why I muted myself.
No worries. You could have brought it up and had during the commentary. I wouldn't have minded, but unless you had to eat downstairs, in which case, fair enough.
I'd eat downstairs.
Okay.
I do like that scene though between him and Kara, where like she thinks Bond's betrayed him.
Yeah.
Also, that scene I missed as well, where he interrogates Pushkin. You should have brought lilies.
You should have brought lilies.
So got another hour left, pretty much, well, 15 minutes.
Yeah. 50 minutes. It's moving very quickly, this film.
Yeah. Well, that's what you get on like Die Another Day.
Jersey Bond and Jersey Bond.
I suppose this Jersey Bond off. What were you thinking of, Jersey Shore?
I guess so, yeah.
I'm from New Jersey.
They never really explain why the heart is there, though. They don't go into why they've got this heart for no reason, and the diamonds.
Could you imagine it was like Timothy Dalton already had 2 hearts because he's Rassilon?
You'll die with me, Doctor. The camera work is great here, like all the aerial shots and everything.
This is like the exact opposite of Die Another Day. It's really fast moving. Unlike Die Another Day, it's just like a fucking snail.
Yeah.
Just to stay awake.
Die Another Day just has no heart. There's no soul. It's just ugly.
It's like a little school child who won't shut up.
Pretty much. Oh, hang on. The sign on that thing on the box says handle like eggs. What?
I suppose it means fragile.
Yeah, but just handle like eggs. It's just such a random thing to put on the box.
We need the eggs and the potatoes.
It's an animal's heart. My achy, breaky heart.
What bit are you on?
Just when they've seen the heart.
Animal's heart. I'd like to fuck you someday.
Little girl.
You can tell she really does start to like Bond.
Yeah, she starts to understand why he did what he did. That he's tracking down Yorgi. She starts to really see Yorgi for what he is.
I don't think Kara is that stupid. I just think she's just innocent. She just doesn't know what's going on. I think she's too trusting with other people.
She's naive.
And I think she's just too trusting Yorgi.
Oh my.
notorious. Kill me.
Oh, I'm not a barbarian, James.
I'm taking you to the proper
Yeah, we know that. You're a jovial bastard.
of Julie Pushkin.
You know, doggy. If you weren't so damn happy, I'd love to fuck you.
Oh,
You don't promise.
You got that same happy touch that Yorgi had.
I've been on this mission for almost 50 years.
I mean, George. But you call him Yorgi.
I'm sorry, James. For you, I have great passion.
I love that line. We have an old saying, Yorgi, you're full of it. I want my opium.
Kind of like a reference to Roger Moore. I love that line in Man of the Golden Gun where it's like there's a four-letter word to describe you, and you're full of it. Like the Scaramanga.
Yeah.
Man with the golden cum. Whenever Alan's free again, we should do a Bond commentary of him.
Yeah. Depending on the time difference.
Yeah. Clara. Yorgi's very happy to kill her anyway, so.
Yeah. She starts to realise how much of a bastard he is.
Jovial bastard.
I have Pushkin's assassin. British agent 007 James Bond. One moment, there's one more. Inspector.
Like this scene, Koskov tries to be intimidating to her. Like, there's nothing. Like, oh, the Ponsoir, they're quite good. You know, like, it just doesn't. Like his acting doesn't hold up really.
I mean, he's just too nice throughout the whole film. He's just too jovial and happy to take him seriously.
Yeah. This prick.
Yeah. Oh god, that guy, yeah.
I didn't tell you to get down. I didn't tell you to get up.
Prisoner for a long time.
I have had a woman prisoner for a long time. Fuck bastard.
One in the morning. You'll be shot.
That actor there, that guy's playing the Arab.
You can tell Allah.
I think he's English. He's quite a good actor.
Oh yeah. Is that Art Malik?
I think maybe, yeah.
The camel does not like to hear.
Did you get down?
Oh, he's got the whistle.
I'll tell you to get up. Now, get up.
I did not tell you to get up. Now, get up.
I like the whistle.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah. Ah! I love the ultimate ending. This guy just attacks him. Like,
You know, James Bond, he's not a Superman.
hits the guy over the head with the bucket. I like the car finally gets involved in the action. The action's very well done.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Oh! He just kicks that fat bastard down. Really, that guy's laughing. For a minute, it was a fat guy who's laughing.
No. No, it's him. And he sticks the finger up at him like, yeah, fuck you.
I'm glad the Bond lets him escape.
We're fantastic.
We're free.
We're free.
Afghanistan.
It's in the middle of Afghanistan.
you almost kind of forget that his accent doesn't really, it's not necessarily suited for Bond, but he kind of gets away with it, really.
Yeah. I mean, Roger Moore was quite posh, I think, as well, but not as posh.
Yeah.
Like, we just
Possible.
chucks,
He was just more of a gentleman.
I just love when he just chucks in the keys. Go ahead and make your day.
I didn't tell you to get up.
I like Clara. Not Clara. It's not Doctor Who. I like Clara's outfit, like the green hat, whatever. Donkey Koskov.
The Mujahideen.
Mujahideen. Is that some kind of curry?
Oh. The Madrasadin.
Yeah, Madrasadin. Can you imagine Timothy Dalton need like a hot tikka? It's like, ooh, ooh, ah, that is hot. Ooh, ah, ah, ah.
Bun, baby, bun.
Pass me the milk.
Disco Inferno.
I mean, Die Another Day was just a fucking snore ride.
Who knew that, 15 years after this, you'd get the 40th anniversary?
This is a better anniversary than Die Another Day is an anniversary. I mean, it may not have the references, but at least it's not trying to, like, you know, reference it all the time.
Yeah, I agree. Busted.
What's going on? I don't need more ration. You're not killing enough.
Not now. How about later?
Don't worry. I'll save you for the harem.
Ha. It's kind of reminds me of the Last Crusade.
Really?
Well, I mean, the stuff in the desert.
I like all these things. The Mujahideen.
This is where I met Rambo back in Afghanistan. You know, it's funny, Rambo 3 would come out a year after this, and it's set in Afghanistan as well, I think. It's set in the Middle East.
It's funny, Dalton's outfit is very Rambo-esque at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, what's interesting about this is that at the time the Russians were fighting fighting in the Middle East, they were fighting in Afghanistan, and I mean, they were there long before the Americans and the British in Iraq and all that stuff. So the Russians tried to beat the Middle East in the 70s and 80s, but they failed. So, I mean,
Yeah. John Barry scores. Brilliant.
I think the sets are great as well.
The Peter Lamont really outdid himself with the production design.
What was Ken Adams' last set?
I'm not sure. I think it must have been like Moonraker, maybe, For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah. And one thing you always get in Bond is you always get good action scenes and good sets.
I mean, they're big budget movies as well. They do spend the budget very wisely.
Yeah. And it's funny because when they started out, they weren't that big budget. Like, Dr. No was made on like a very low budget, but even then, for the low budget, it does look quite impressive.
Yeah. It still holds up rather well, actually, for over 50 years old.
Yeah. This film is 30 years old this year. 30 years since Timothy Dalton got the role.
Shame his era would be short-lived.
I mean, yeah, that's why I don't like his era. Well, no, not his era, Brosnan's era, because, you know, at least with Dalton, they were trying to go back to the books. They were trying to go back to Ian Fleming. With Brosnan, it's like, let's just make a generic Bond film. Let's just make some generic Bond films. We'll not even bother.
Sure you'd like to question him.
I mean, because Brosnan tried to copy his predecessors Like, there were elements of each one. You couldn't define a single direction that his Bond was going in. Hence, it looks very confused. That's
Hero tries to combine everything.
I know their intentions were good, and they were trying to homage Connery and Moore and Dalton, but it just doesn't work. It tries to be campy, and then it tries to be serious.
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
GoldenEye's a good film, but I don't get what Brosnan's Bond is. Like, you know, there's nothing unique about his Bond, other than the fact that he's a necrophile. I don't really know what else is compared to the others.
I think Brosnan's Bond's just really bland in the role. He's just nothing, to be honest. He adds nothing to the role, and that's why, I mean, GoldenEye for me, I just think, I mean, I used to hate it, but now looking at it, it's average. But I mean, but the reason I don't like it as much, like some people are like, oh, like, why do you hate GoldenEye so much, or like, why do you rate it so low? The reason is because even though License to Kill was a failure, at least it was trying to do something different. At least with the Dalton films, they were trying to do something different. They were trying to go back to the Ian Fleming books. They were trying to do, you know, a different take on Bond. With GoldenEye, it's like, let's just have a generic fun romp with James Bond, and it just didn't work for me.
It was just a weird film.
Yeah.
But not in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, Xenia Onatopp in Italian. I think Brosnan is my main problem with that film. He's just, I mean, he even said it, that he was insecure making that film, and you could tell.
But there's a nice scene here with Bond and Kara.
He's like, oh, it means beautiful in Afghan.
Heister.
Are you calling me a horse's ass?
Some of his delivery of the charming lines are a little bit stiff, but
I like the track here.
I'll catch up to you later.
He's going back to kill, yeah. It's too dangerous.
her outfit's really beautiful in this scene.
Yeah.
To what? Get killed?
I like this.
I won't wait for you.
Get killed.
Another 10 months since director London.
Dumb. Stubborn. Stupid. Goddamn teacher.
Hits him with the cushion.
Stubborn!
Fucking the horse.
Horse.
You can tell she cares for him.
Back end of horse.
His ass.
Horse's ass.
Calling me a horse's ass. You can tell she really cares for him. Like, she does love him. I like the fact that Bond just doesn't take advantage of her.
And they have a bit of a sort of a smooch.
Yeah, but he doesn't like fuck her.
He doesn't bed her until probably the end of the film.
You imagine the Mujahideen just like burst in. It's like, oh, let's get topless, baby. I like this shot here. Oh god, it's Bond of Arabia. Dalton of Arabia.
Sweet Timothy, who waits for me.
We have all the time in the world.
We have half an hour left in this film. We're getting to the big climax.
It hasn't felt that long.
No, it hasn't. The first time I watched it, it felt long, but as I've watched it every time, it just gets better and better.
I think Glenn here, he was at his peak, and he should have just left after he made this film. Because I think with License to Kill, he was overstaying his welcome. I mean, directing 5 Bond movies in a row, that's the most that anyone's directed Bond films. It's just kind of like, okay, mate, you've done enough.
Well, the most in a row. I think Guy Hamilton did, 5, but not all in a row.
He did 4. He did what was it? Goldfinger, Diamonds Are Forever, Live and Let Die, and Man with the Golden Gun. So John Glenn's done the most by one film. Opium.
It looks like Marmite.
Yeah. Opium, you either love it or you hate it. I mean, I like the story as well, like drug smuggling. Like, you wouldn't really get that in Roger Moore.
No, continue that in License to Kill.
Yeah. I like this guy, the actor. He's very good as the as leader of the Mujahideen, one of the Mujahideen.
Mujahideen.
Forever.
The Russians to buy a large quantity of high-tech weapons using the down payment to buy this opium instead. You can turn a huge profit in days.
High-tech weapons.
Without arms.
I think this is also the peak of the Dalton era. Not because of Dalton himself, but also just the filmmaking was at its peak. And, like, it's annoying that only half of the Dalton era is really good.
Well, you've only got 2 films to choose from, so yeah.
Nothing is done.
I think it's just such a shame he only stayed for 2 films. I mean, his License to Kill didn't do well, and then you had there was James Bond. There was an issue with the rights for years, and it wasn't until nearly. It was 6 years later you would get GoldenEye, and by that time Timothy Dalton was already older. He said he would have done GoldenEye, but Cubby Broccoli wanted him to stay on longer, and that's why he didn't come back. I mean, I think GoldenEye would have benefited more if Dalton was in it. That way the tone could have been more serious.
Really, what with lines like, that depends on your definition of safe sex.
No, what I mean is it would have been better if he was in it, because then the film would have been more serious. It would have gone in a more serious tone. Like, I'm not like him with Xenia on the top would have just been awful though.
You think you can break me?
I mean, I kind of agree. I mean, he is a bit of an odd choice as Shakespearean actor, but he does work well.
I'm not sure why Cubby Broccoli ever considered him, but he did a good job for what he had. He definitely stuck to the source material.
I think Timothy Dalton as Bond. I think he and Craig, you could believe the most of their killers. I think him and Craig are the most that you could believe that
Serious,
they kill someone.
And I mean Connery as well, to an extent.
James is trapped. You must help him.
And even Roger Moore had his moments. Like, people say he's just too campy, but even Roger Moore had his dark moments.
I don't think Lazenby had any cold kills, as far as I remember.
I like this bit with Cara where she just takes the AK-47 and runs after Bond. It shows that she finally has initiative.
Yeah. Loving your life.
I think John Glen, when he started off, Your Eyes Only he was just finding his feet. Octopus was better. And then I think View to a Kill is where he got it right. And then Living Daylights, he perfected it.
I think he was probably on drugs when he was making License to Kill. I mean, because it kind of reeks of ecstasy.
I mean, John Glen thinks that License to Kill was his best Bond film that he directed, but I completely disagree.
Yeah. To me, it's not a terrible film. Like, I give it a pass.
It's okay.
No, it's passable. I put it at 6 out of 10. Like, it's enjoyable, but it's not. It's a bit messy.
It's totally confused. I mean, it's trying to be darker, but then it's way too dark for a Bond film. And then you have these campy moments with like the ninjas and stuff. It's like I thought this was a darker Bond film.
But I'm glad at least he got half of the Dalton era right.
Yeah.
Well, meaning the one film.
I mean,
it went bad, I suppose.
I think what's good about Living Daylights is it's a fresh take on James Bond. It feels like a fresh take because you can tell that was needed though after 12 years of Roger Moore.
much as I
Yeah.
like it more, that was needed.
Yeah, you know, I agree. I mean, I think you could tell he had a long talk with Timothy Dalton.
So, you know, James Bond, he's not a Superman.
I mean, yeah, what I love about it is it's just a spy thriller. It's a spy espionage film with comedic moments as well, but it's not too dark and it's not too light. It's just the right balance of the tone.
It goes back to, I think, what Fleming wrote in his original novels.
I think if Fleming saw this film, he would have liked Dalton. And I think he would have liked this film.
I think the film is genuinely liked, but a lot of people tend to forget about it.
Yeah, I think it's just overlooked because you have License to Kill after that and GoldenEye and you've A View to a Kill and the Roger Moore films before that. It's just sort of forgotten about.
I mean, it's what Alan says. Timothy Dalton was one of the most unpopular James Bonds, so everybody just dismisses him. The people just forget he was James Bond for the 2 films that he did.
Yeah, what bit are you on?
Just when Dalton's setting the bomb. Oh shit.
I like this thing. I'm Rambo! He's got his AK, he's Rambo.
He just starts kicking shit off.
Live for nothing! We're dying for something! You imagine just Rambo running in here, like with a rocket launcher, helping Timothy Dalton.
That's how fucking is done.
I mean, some people just think Kara's stupid, but what I like about her is that by this point in the film, she's got a lot tougher. I mean, you know, when she's helping Bond out, I like that. And the Mujahideen, I think the Mujahideen, they're really,
Bond's kind of brought out the kind of the spunk in her, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think the action scenes in here are great. John Glen knows how to do action, and the score by Barry is brilliant. Like the
I think this is a great climax. It's just a huge, epic battle.
Holy shit!
Oh. Where's my opium?
Oh, your cow's cold.
So we haven't actually seen Brad Whitaker for like ages.
Yeah, that's the only thing I have a problem with. It's just the villains just aren't. It's not good.
Costco. Block the runway.
I think Whitaker should have been the main villain instead of Koskov. I mean, what's great about this is that, you know, it isn't too dark, that it's just the right balance.
I agree, yeah.
I love that scene where the guy tries to take the horse off Kara and she just like punches him in the face, kicks him.
Yeah. Have a thumbs up.
Rambo, I'm here.
Oh. James.
I mean, that's the thing about the Mujahideen back then. It's kind of like the Russians versus the Native Americans. Well, no, sorry, the settlers versus the Native Americans. I mean, the Mujahideen were a lot less well equipped than the Russians. They managed to beat them.
I mean, they're only like a small resistance group, so they're not going to have the same arms as the standard military, are they? So.
This may sound weird, but it's kind of like the Ewoks. Like, they're a lot less well equipped than the stormtroopers.
You're comparing them, an Afghan resistance group, to teddy bears.
No, but what I mean is, like, people complain in that film about the Ewoks, but they're kind of like they're like a less well-equipped resistance group if you think about it compared to stormtroopers. I like the scene where Car's just beating up this guy in front of the truck.
Oh.
Necros, machine gun.
We've only got 20 minutes left, actually.
Yeah.
Necros just shooting.
I like when Bond's trying to say, "Go back, go back."
James, open up the ramp and go up the ramp. And he's like, "For fuck's sake, Carter."
John Barry. Go in the plane. Then she like finally understands, like,
oh, he's rolling his eyes. She's like, oh,
yeah.
He got the boot.
Yeah. Got the boot. Koskov.
Whitaker.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know that bit, like that Russian, you know that bit with the Russian girl at the start? She's like,
yeah.
She Koskov. Ah! What I don't understand, he just got hit by a plane and the thing exploded. How is he still alive?
Yeah. How's he not dead from that?
Yeah. But that bit where she's like, James, like, for a minute I thought she was going to get her tits like that Russian girl at the start, just like put them in his face.
God.
It's like Bond crashes the plane.
I didn't realise Marion Diver was British until I watched that Bond Girls Are Forever documentary.
I saw a documentary before I watched the film.
It's a good accent.
Dun, 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 dun. Boom, boom. Dun. I think Dalton's very good at the action, like Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
I mean, he did all his stunts himself, well, most of them anyway. Uh-oh. Yeah, I love this bit where they're hanging on the net. It's just such a cool action scene. That's such a great stunt where they're hanging on from the net in the plane.
Yeah.
The net full of opium. And you got the bomb as well.
This is a really good fight.
Yeah. Music helps it as well.
Dum 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 Dun, dun.
I wonder if that was Timothy Dalton hanging from the plane, or if it was someone else.
I can imagine Dalton probably decided to actually do it.
Yeah. Just punching Necros through the net. Ah. He's just so underrated as Bond because, I mean, people love Daniel Craig, but without Dalton, you wouldn't have had Daniel Craig. I mean, Dalton was the first one to really go back to the books and have a really serious take on the character. Oh. Pajak. Get off me!
He got the boot.
When he cuts the net, all the flies away.
Imagine if Dalton was like Scrappy Doo. Puppy power.
He was Scooby Dum.
Dun, 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 dun.
Get off my leg! Oh God, you know the way he's got the boot? Could you imagine it was like Star Trek 3 with Captain Kirk? He's like, I have had enough of you!
No.
He just cuts the laces off.
No, please. Like, he has time to grab the other part of the net. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, Necros, if he wanted to survive, he could grab the other part of the net.
Oh shit.
Dun, 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 dun.
Shoulder. Oh shit, the bomb! Quite tense as well because the bomb's still there.
Yeah.
Fuck. I would have thrown the bomb out.
What happened?
He got the boot.
He got the boot.
The seconds to spare defuses the bomb.
But are you on?
Just when he goes back into the plane, before he says he got the boot.
What happened?
He got the boot.
Kara, you're better than that.
Clara. You're the impossible girl. Here's an interesting thing. Remember Sylvia Trench returning from Russia with Love?
Yeah.
I wonder what happened to her after that.
Don't know. Maybe she went on Tinder to find a new boyfriend.
This scene here where the bridge blows up is actually a model effect, but it's that good. It doesn't look like it.
What are you doing?
It's brilliant.
Mr. Rambo! Yeah, that bridge, black actual bridge, blown up.
Louis watching us, by the way.
Oh, what's he saying?
He just says loving the live stream.
Oh, you bastard! Can you imagine Timothy Dalton just blowing up the bridge? This is for divorcing me, Sean!
No.
It's always a cliche, running out of fuel.
Ah,
Losing fuel fast.
opium. Ugh.
Imagine if you use opium as fuel. One thing I will say about the Living Daylights, I mean, it's never boring, unlike Die Another Day.
Yeah, the pacing is really good.
And it's a few minutes longer than Die Another Day. It's 2 hours, 10 minutes. It's about the same length, but it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah. Die Another Day drags like a snail.
Yeah. I know somebody actually loves Casino Royale and said it should have been like a half an hour longer, which I disagree. 3 hours for a Bond film is too much.
Yeah. I love Casino Royale, but it was long enough.
Yeah.
2 hours 24 minutes was long enough for Casino Royale.
I thought it was too long, but there we go. I like this bit. When they parachute out of the plane.
Bye.
He had to fly. Imagine it's like Moonraker, he had to fly.
We had to fly.
They can just make dinner.
I know a great restaurant in Karachi.
We could just make dinner. Now we head to the final confrontation with Brad Whitaker, who we've not seen for about an hour.
Oh yeah, this guy plays Felix Leiter's shit.
Yeah, I was saying earlier when you were away, he's the worst, Felix. I mean, if they were going to bring David Hedson back, they could have asked him for this film, but then again, the events of these two Dalton films aren't necessarily connected, so I don't think it matters too much, but
Yeah.
I just wish David Hedson.
This Felix is just really bland.
He does nothing. He's only in 2 scenes. So he doesn't do
Whitaker is all the generals. Just looks really weird.
like he's playing with his toys.
He's a bit of
He's a nothing villain. Like Brad Whitaker. He just doesn't do anything. He's just nothing.
just generic.
Yeah.
Hell, you can have him. As soon as I get my opium, and I'm worried. You burned up $500 million.
It's down the toilet. I cut out the middleman.
Oh. Cut out the middleman.
Yes, and if the Russians don't get you, the Americans will.
They're finished.
You're taking another 35,000 casualties.
Bond, do you like gardening?
35,000 casualties.
That soundtrack is great.
Done.
It's a good action scene though. I don't mind it.
It's cool, but it's anticlimactic. Whitaker just dies so easily.
Now I'll have my 80. Sorry to say your pop gun is no match for the latest body armor.
Body armor. Dalton is fast with moving. imagine? Could you?
So now you take refuge at a British fortress Wellington.
Huh.
They are mercenaries. They have holy.
That's the end of Brad Whitaker.
I'll give that one bone.
Well,
He met his Waterloo.
Koskov.
Damn, Pushkin. Thank God you're still alive.
Oh God!
Oh,
Oh, thank God you're alive.
has helped me here for weeks. Thank you for rescuing me. Thank you.
Georgi, Georgi.
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 Oh, thank you, General. Thank you so much.
They're arresting him.
In the diplomatic bag.
See ya.
What about Kara? She is a defector too. What shall we do about her?
Leave her to me.
Nice. They put her in the Constellier.
It's funny, she still has a bullet hole in her cello.
It's a Stradivarius. Like, it's quite rare, actually. That'd be worth a lot. Even with the bullet hole.
It seems some action. I really like Kara's Bond girl. She's one of my favorites, just because she is so innocent, and the fact that she does sort of toughen up towards the end. And bum bum. What if Mariam Dabo actually could play the cello?
Woo!
Gogi. Well, it's the last appearance of Gogol here in a minute.
Oh, yes.
Who was the main Russian during the Roger Moore era?
Mainly in The Spy Who Loved Me. He was the... Yeah.
He was in all the Roger Moore films after Spy Love Me. He was in Moonraker, Few Eyes Only, Octopussy, View to a Kill.
It's kind of weird to see him in a Dalton film, but I guess it makes sense.
He was supposed to be Pushkin.
Was he?
Yeah.
Sorry we missed the concert. We had some trouble at the airport.
Well, I like Pushkin.
General Gogol,
It was supposed to be Gogol's send-off, this film.
Where's James?
Why did they not do it? Did the actor not commit, or did they just...
I think he was sick at the time.
Ah.
I kind of like this, like, she's kind of missing James, and then... or whatever it is. The champagne. Imagine it was Yorkie there. Imagine it just blew up in their face.
You didn't think I'd miss this performance, did you?
I think I missed this performance.
The music's a bit cheesy, but I kind of like it. It's that cheesy.
Oh. I would have said stick the aha song at the end, but... James.
Yeah, dude, that's mad.
That's the Living Daylights.
Fucking shit! 0 out of 10! Joking. If there was a man.
Yeah, for love.
Yeah, 30 years since it came out.
Well done, John Glen and team. Very good film.
Yeah, unfortunately it wasn't his last film.
Neglected.
I think it is a shame that Timothy Dalton only had 2 films.
Always hesitated. I feel like the tune, this song. It's a good song, it just doesn't fit the end of this film.
I don't think it's a good song, but it's. I think it's all right for the end of the film because it's like, oh, she's with James.
Yeah, not for long.
It is a shame. This is one of his only films. He only did 2. If he wasn't there, I could dream of.
Here I am.
The front cover for the DVD is so cool, like Dalton with the gun and like the exploding hut of the car.
Yeah.
Someone just like you.
Ha. Like you.
I mean, for me, after The Living Daylights, Bond films don't really get good again from Casino Royale, which is nearly 20 years later.
Yeah. Which is a shame.
Yeah. I think definitely without Dalton, you wouldn't have had Craig, and I think he's really underappreciated. James Bond will return in The Living Daylights.
Bum 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 bum. Well, that's The Living Daylights. Initial impression, very good.
Oh shit! Yeah. I think it's definitely the
His
best.
era kind of, well, goes downhill.
Yeah. I think it's the best Bond film of the 80s, definitely, and John Glen's best film.
I would agree with that. And Dalton's best film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. One day we'll probably do a License to Kill commentary.
Yeah. Or On Her Majesty's Secret Service commentary.
With George Lazenby.
George Lazenby played James Bond, so Lazenby.
Yeah, we'll see. Eventually we'll commentate on all of them. But no, this was a great one. I think it's really overlooked.
I agree.
In
It's
yeah.
underrated. Nobody ever talks about it.
Mm.
I think Timothy Dalton as Bond is the most underrated, next to Roger Moore.
Yeah.
I think after 12 films of, well, not 12 films, 12 years of Roger Moore, people just got used to the tone of his films. And when License to Kill and Living Daylights came around, people just didn't really get it.
Mm. Yeah, I think it was too much. Like, they weren't ready for the full Monty. They just needed something that was like The Living Daylights. And I think they would have slowly grown into that. But because John Glen threw everything in the kitchen sink in License to Kill, it kind of threw people. And because it didn't feel like a Bond movie. So I think that was another reason why people thought, no, this is not James Bond. And nobody ever warmed up to Timothy Dalton in the role until years after his era ended.
I think that's why I don't like Goldeneye and all those films with Brosnan, because it's just such a big step back after the revolutionary Dalton film. You know, after this film, which was like, we're bringing Bond back to basics, we're making it like the Fleming books. That's why I don't like Goldeneye and all the other films he did, because it's like, it's just such a big step back, and Brosnan in the role is just so forgettable and lazy.
Yeah, but for me, the Dalton era is the one with the most wasted potential, because you have one film that is very good and shows promise for an era much like that, but then the second film just completely squanders it and just takes it.
I wouldn't say it's one of the most wasted potential. I think the Brosnan era is one of the most wasted potential. You could have done good films for all four. let's just make another Bond film. Like they squandered Brosnan.
Well, he didn't know what he wanted to do with the role, which was a shame, but oh well, that's the way it worked. But I think we can agree that Bond is in a good place at the moment with Craig, and by the sounds of it, Craig is doing one more film, so, you know, hopefully he'll go out with a bang.
Go out with a big bang.
I take it Mr. Bond's been explaining his Big Bang Theory. Oh yeah, I think I got the thrust of it.
God, let's not go back to that.
God, never again. It was just
The era never went that low.
That was just terrible.
Oh God, we suffer through over 2 hours of crap.
Guess I die another day. I guess I die another day. Another day.
Oh Jesus.
Well, is there anything you want to say before we close off?
I hear Brosnan. No, joking. No, just that it's been fun doing this commentary, and can't wait to do more in the future.
Yeah, shame. Well, thank you very much, guys, for watching and listening. Stay tuned for more commentaries. Bye for now. I'm MrTardis11. This is Jack McCullough, and see ya.